What's going on, everybody? I'll be your host for the next 15 or so minutes. My name is Captain Crush. I will guide you through the fantasy sports process for PrizePicks, Thrive Fantasy, Underdog, DraftKings, FanDuel, anything fantasy sports related, I got your back. What I focus on here is teaching the correct process so you can have your individual process and become a winning player. Yesterday, we absolutely crushed. I'm sure a lot of people did. I got a lot of DMs yesterday, winning screenshots. That being said, we have one NBA playoff game today. It is Flex Friday, so your first slip will be protected up to $20. You can't spread it around, so make sure you use it wisely. It is WNBA tip-off today, so I may include some props, but here's the thing. I'm not confident to put out WNBA content without seeing the rotations and whatnot first. So I will be looking for the rotations, and once I have a clear picture, we will be doing WNBA content every single day. Miami Heat, +9, over under 215. Boston Celtics, -9. That should be signaling in your head red flags. They're thinking it's a blowout. I honestly took +8 on the Miami Heat the first time they met. Now being +9 and the Celtics do not want to lose at home. I honestly probably wouldn't take -9, but I probably would just take -380, as sick as that is, for the money line. I'm not going to touch this game today as far as betting on the books, but that's my analysis 2 cents. Yesterday, the Lakers +5.5 or +6, whichever line you got, cash it. We got there. Okay, let's go over to Thrive Fantasy where we discuss the two-mans that I do. All right, so these are the best two props on Thrive Fantasy as of now. Max Strus, less 12.5 points. I know it's scary. I know you click the last 5 and you see all green, but yes, this is the valuable prop via the math. Sandy Alcantara, less than 6.5 Ks. Anytime you're taking strikeouts on MLB, whether it's more or less, it's always going to be a kick in the rear end because that's just how it goes with MLB. Use promo code CRUSH. You'll get your full deposit matched up to $250. What's that mean? You post $250, they'll give you a $250 for a total of $500. $250, which is promo funds, and I will give you a free month trial of my Discord when I publicly launch it. Okay, now let's go over to PrizePicks where I discuss these fantasy scores. We got Himmy Butler, 49.5 fantasy, Jason Tatum, 51.5. These are going to be the two studs. Are we targeting them? Well, let me tell you what I'm doing. I am taking more on Jason Tatum. Oh, but Cap, he sold last game. He didn't get there last game. He only had 38 fantasy points. How are you going to take Tatum? Didn't you guys say the same thing on May 14th when he put up an 80 bomb? Yeah, you did. Stop worrying about what they did last game. Get it out of your mind, remove it from your memory, or you're gonna hate this hobby. I'm telling you guys right now, it's fish mentality. It's called recency bias. That is the term that is used, that is coined. I don't know if it's an actual psychological term because I'm not a psychiatrist, but it is the term that we use in fantasy sports. If you're worried about what they did last game, last week, last performance, it's called recency bias. And if you use that to make decisions, you're a long-term loser. Point blank, period. So whether he sells tonight, whether he goes off tonight, it shouldn't matter to you. All that should matter is, did you get it in good? And if you got it in good, the results will eventually break your way. Like yesterday, 5 of 5 community slip. Finally, 6 of 6. Finally, 3 of 3. Finally, we crushed all across the board. It's no games, okay? And those winning nights will make up for your 1 week, 2 week loss, whatever cold streak you're on, if you're betting responsibly and using bankroll management, okay? Now I'm going to step off my soapbox and we're going to go back to discussing the fantasy scores. Jason Tatum in a must-win game at home. The only fear I have is that it could blow out. It very well could because it's a 9-point spread, but I will have Jason Tatum fantasy score more, and I will take my licks whichever way it goes. All right. Okay. Next, Jimmy Butler. Now, my model projections have this going less. It's going at about 46 to 47 fantasy points, which would mean that he should be taking less if we're going to take it. However, I don't believe that the model is right every day. I tell you guys that all the time. Models are just projections. We have to step in sometimes. But 49.5 fantasy points. I could literally see this going either way. It's a true 50-50. They priced this line so efficiently that for me, I'm most likely just going to stay away because I can't figure out what I want to do there. That's totally honest, me being honest with you guys. Marcus Smart, 28.5. I'm taking more. Why? Because I already told you the math checks out, number one, but number two, because this is a must-win game for them. It's not technically a must-win game, but they don't want to go down 2 games at home and then go travel to Miami where they could literally get swept. So I'm taking more on these two guys. I'm probably not going to go with Brogdon. I mean, I like Brogdon. He's the 6th man for a reason, but I'll probably just take his points or something. something. Kyle Lowry, again, models projecting him to go less. But if the game stays competitive, he's been showing up. And I'm the biggest Kyle Lowry hater there is. But if Toronto Raptor Kyle Lowry shows up 24 fantasy points, it's simply not enough. I think it should be priced at exactly 25. I wish it was priced at 22. If it was, it'd be a snap over. But at 24, I'm still going to take my chances here. Let's go over to my handy dandy notepad so I could see what the fantasy point per minutes are and usage rates are. Here we go. We got Jason Tatum, 1.42 fantasy points per minute with a 32% usage rate. I'm going to hop over to the calculator right quick. 1.42 and multiply it times 38 minutes because let's be real, that's what he's going to be playing. We get 53.9 fantasy points, and that's at 38 minutes. He could play up to 40 or 42 and even more if it goes into overtime. Cap, that's the entire game. Yeah, pretty much. I honestly think that they want to win that bad tonight. So I talked about Tatum. We can see Marcus Smart, 0.89 fantasy points per minute. Take 0.89, multiply it times 38, you'll get over 28.5. He only has a 17% usage rate, but he plays a lot of defense, which is where his fantasy points come in. He can get blocks, steals. Those are 3 points. We need to avoid turnovers because he's known to turn the ball over every now and again. So hopefully we can avoid that scenario altogether. All right. Himmy Butler, 1.27 fantasy points per minute with a 25% usage rate. Bam Adebayo, 1.15, 25% usage rate. Kyle Lowry with an abysmal 0.86 fantasy points per minute and a lousy 16% usage rate. But again, 0.86 times 35, which he probably will only play 28 to 30 minutes, and he still is projected to go over 24. Okay? Gabe Vincent, not going to touch. Kevin Love, not going to touch. So that is my notepad. If you think that this game is going to be a blowout, I would probably stay away from, let me see here. I'd probably stay away from Lowry, probably stay away from Bam. I'd probably fade the whole game. If you think it's going to be a blowout, I'd probably fade the whole fantasy scoreboard except for maybe 1 or 2 guys. Robert Williams is someone that you could take shots on. You can roll dice. Look at this, 24 fantasy points. Last game, he crushed the first half and then he just kind of disappeared. I remembered having his second half prop, his PRA over or his points, whatever, and he sold and he only needed like 3 or 4. I did have his rebounds under 7.5 and he had 5 or something in the first half. I'm like, well, that slip is chalked. And then by the miracle of whatever happened, he ended up staying under 7.5. So if you want to throw darts and go with either one of these 2 big men, their fantasy scores, it's always going to be in play. We're going to have to wait and see if they switch the rotation, if they keep the 2 big men or if they go back to Derek White, who also, Derek White got in foul trouble early last time. We'll have to wait and see. If you're looking at 5 to take, this is probably what I would like. Tatum, Smart, Lowry, Struss, under, Jaylen Brown, under. Let me say something real quick for you guys, because a lot of you guys watch my YouTube videos and then you DM me and you're like, Cap, I watched your YouTube videos and you're helping me with the process, yada, yada, yada. And then I look at your slips and it's literally just a copy and paste of what I did. Okay? I'm not hating on you if you do that. I don't mind if you tail my slips, because when we crush like yesterday, we crush for it. It's nice that you guys get the W's too. But I'm just one man. I'm just one talking head. I'm just one, whatever you want to call me, guy. Okay? It's imperative. I implore you to have your own process, because I'm not going to be right every single night. No one is, okay? It's mathematically impossible. But I need you guys, I want you guys to have your own process so you guys can come out here when I'm not around, or if I have personal issues or whatever, yada, yada, you guys can come out here. You know what to do. You be like, Captain taught me this, and you crush yourselves, okay? That is my ultimate goal. So take what I say and take the advice that I say and apply it to your own process, which you can use confirmation bias. We talked about recency bias. Now we're talking about confirmation bias. You can use that. If you're already on the fence of something and then you hear me mention it and you like what I say, there you go. You can confirm it. That could be another box that you check. So you have narrative, trends, fantasy points per minute, and then you can you have the captain's opinion as your 4th or 5th box, whatever have you, and you go from there. Okay, so I covered all the fantasy scores that I want to cover. Quick note on WNBA, which is going to be here. Okay, we have a flash sale for Aja Wilson. I don't even know how you say her name, and I watched her all last season and she crushed. She made me a lot of money, actually. She's pretty much the best player in the WNBA. So aside from that, the Las Vegas Aces. This is a flash sale. Do not include this in your Flex Friday slip, because she plays Saturday and it will not count. So make sure that you take this, but don't take it in your Flex Friday slip. That means you need to make your $20 Flex Friday slip first and then make an additional slip with Wilson in there and take more. Obviously, anytime you see these flash sales, take more. Don't be that guy that's just, oh, I'm taking less, because that would make you a fish. And you don't want to be a fish in this industry. It's not a good term. You can be a whale, because a whale is basically a fish that that just has deep pockets, so then it's justified. But you're trying to be a shark, okay? Sharks eat fish, okay? So on the WNBA, I will be covering this every day. It's nice. Look at all these props we have. It's so nice to have multiple games to choose from, folks. We got the fantasy scores for WNBA. My specialty is second half props for WNBA. I love that. It's way more predictable, it seems, because the rotations are way tighter. There's no load management. The blowouts are few and far between, but it is first tip, and I can't advise you to take any of these until I have time to see how the rotations are being run, who's doing what, usage rates, FPMs. I could go by last season, but that's not really good information. That's lazy. I will wait. I'll be patient, and by Monday, I should be having WNBA videos up every single day, okay? There's also some golf going on. This course that they're playing on is extremely difficult today, which is why I haven't targeted. Look at these birdie props, 2.5 birdies or better. If you want to gamble, if you want to get down, you could take Bryson DeChambeau, and you could take Corey Connors, you could take Rory Woodland, any of these guys. Rahm shot 6 over yesterday, okay? He's due to have a monster round, but this stuff is extremely hard on this course that they're playing on. I've never seen birdie props for studs so low, okay? But if you want to go there, you can take a couple of them, dabble around in it, get your feet wet. We will be covering PGA this summer. Back to NBA, all right? I'm going to go back to my handy dandy notepad where I have some props that I want to cover. All right, these are a few of the props that I like that I wanted to discuss, okay? Bam Adebayo, more than half a block, 53% chance to hit, -130. My model projects him for 0.8, which is pretty much going over. It's anytime you take these, it's going to be volatile, which I always preach to you guys, so buyer beware. Robert Williams III, he's got a W right in his name, the 3. Under 7.5 rebounds, 53% chance to hit, -130. Model projects it for 7.9. See, this is where the model is projecting over than what the math is. And when I have that discrepancy, I have to step in and make a choice. And what I'm saying is I still liked the under, and now PrizePicks bumped it down to 7. So now I'm just going to fade it entirely. Marcus Smart, under 9.5 rebounds plus assists, 53% chance to hit. Model projects it for 9.9. Again, another one projecting over on my model by 0.4, but I believe that he's going to go less. The math does as well. Jimmy Butler, less than 6 assists, 53% chance to hit. Model has him for 5.9 assists. Books have him the prop for 5.5. Listen carefully. If it was 5.5, if I had it for 5.5 on PrizePicks, I would take more. But it's at 6. He needs 7 to beat me. It's always scary when you're going against Jimmy Butler. It just is. I would take less. The math says take less. Same thing with Max Struss. Lower than 12.5 points. I can imagine this is probably going to get bumped down later throughout the day, but it's always scary. And even if you look at his last 5, I believe he's all green. These guys, he's a shooter. He can go off at any time. He can shoot 3-4 threes in a game and burn your slip. But we just have to trust the math. He's projected for 10.6 on my model. It's a 54% chance to go lower. I will continue to take that, and then whatever happens, okay? I'm fading Williams now. I did get it in a couple at 7.5. And then Bam Adebayo, he was at 17.5 earlier. I believe he on Underdog and PrizePicks. Now he's at 18. You can still take more here if you want, if you don't want to go with the block shot. Either or is going to be fine, okay? Just note that this game could get very ugly very fast. It's not like a Denver Laker game where it's going to be upbeat, fast, a lot of offense. This is a defensive grind game. It's one of those games that is going to be probably physical, and it's just going to be a slow-paced slog. All right. So keep that in mind. Don't bet without your means. Probably just take your 20 on Flex Friday today and hope for the best. Tail whatever community slip we do. By the way, the community slip went 5 of 5 yesterday. Can we get a shout out for the community slip for 5 of 5? Let's go. All right. So let's take a look at any Let's take a look at any fun props that we have today. Yesterday I had Aaron Gordon over 1.5 dunks. It cashed. That was the 6th leg in my 6 of 6, and we got that W. I love when I hit a fun prop. It just makes me feel so giddy inside, like a little girl. Okay, Robert Williams 2 dunks. If you want to take a chance on that, Jimmy Butler 1 dunk. I'm not Tatum 1 dunk. All those are in play. I'm just personally not going to go there. I was hoping they'd be at 0.5, but they're at 1. Did anyone see LeBron go for that amazing dunk crossover and turn it over? That was so funny. He's the GOAT, and he did GOAT things, and he was the play of the day, and he crushed. But I have to admit, that was pretty funny. I'm glad I didn't have his dunk prop, but that would have probably tilted me to death. All right, let me see if there's anything else here. Minutes played. All right, absolutely. Jimmy Butler over 42 minutes. Jason Tatum over 41. I like that. More more and more here. I think most of the time you'll end up pushing, but if you want to take a complete dice roll and have some fun, you can take more on both of those. One more thing, let's discuss points. See what Brogdon's at real quick. 15.5 points. Remember when we were getting him at 13.5 points? Now he's at 15.5. If you want, you could take lower, but me, I'm taking more. I'm going against the math. I'm going against the model. I'm going against everything. I'm going to crazy town, and I'm just going to completely gamble and take 15.5. Hope he comes off the bench and hope he just puts the dagger in today's game. 3 after 3, splash, crisp that net. I will roll those dice. I'm not afraid. I'm on a heater. I'm on a hot streak. Everything crushed yesterday. And that will conclude my prize picks presentation for today. Let's go over to Underdog Fantasy, where I created a little pick'em for y'all. Jimmy Butler, lower than 6 assists. Marcus Smart, lower than 9.5 rebounds and assists. Side note, promo code CRUSH. It'll get you 100% first deposit. All you have to do is deposit a minimum of 10, maximum of 100. They'll match whatever you put on. Promo code CRUSH. It gets you a free month into my Discord when I publicly launch. Okay? I will have it up there and we'll give you a 30-day free trial. But I haven't launched yet, so those of you that got in early, you got in without my approval, but it is what it is. Max Strus, lower than 12.5 points. Jason Tatum, higher than 51 fantasy points. And let's throw in a little MLB, a 715 late night hammer. Steven Matz, 4.5 Ks, higher. I like it. That's my pick'em contest on Underdog. We will be doing a lot of best ball content for NFL season via Underdog. I implore you to sign up. Use my code. You can't lose. They give you a freebie. The cash outs are super fast. Their customer support team crushes. They're all around the nuts. They are second to PrizePicks, if not closing in on first. Okay? Last, like always, I show you guys my research tools that I use. Outlier Bet. You can get a 7-day free trial in my bio, but here you go. Okay? Jimmy Butler has failed to exceed 1.5 3-pointers in 20 straight games. A lot of this stuff is geared for actual sports books. Okay? But you can literally just look at these insights. I read them every day like a newspaper. I go over them. You can filter out the games. If you don't want tomorrow's game, you can just filter it out. Look at this. Jimmy Butler has failed to exceed 28.5 points in 17 of his last 20 games on the road. That is an extremely good stat to have. Will it deter you to take Jimmy Butler over 28.5? It would for me, because that's just a decent stat line to consider. So maybe take the under at 28.5 points. You can go over here to props. They have everything here, right here for both games. They have the odds. They have the hit rates, the last 10, the last 20s. I cover this every day. For those that are new, I'm still doing it. Eventually, I won't have to, but that is my research tool, Outlier Bet. They're improving every day. They listen to my feedback. I appreciate those guys. 7-day free trial in my bio. The link is in the description via Linktree. All right, fam. Soldiers, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. You listened to me ramble for a solid 15 or 20 minutes. I don't know, because I haven't edited it yet. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm so glad we crushed and we got those W's yesterday. Anytime that happens, it's a beautiful thing. Guys, my Dub Club / Discord will have a public launch, and when I do, I will launch it, announce it on Twitter. I'll make a TikTok video. I'll make a YouTube video. Everyone will know. Everyone that signed up, I have you guys on a list. We will give you your 30-day free trial code. It will be honored. What to expect in the Discord? I'll have my personal slips there, obviously. I will do some more in-depth Q&A, some slip review, etc. But most of all, a giant community where we can all talk, hang out, chill, and tilt with each other, because that's what it's all about. Everyone wants someone to tilt with, right? To text and be like, bro, this guy sold. Bro, this guy crushed, etc., etc. Okay? I'm working on it. I promise you. I had some personal issues, but I'm getting it all straightened out, and I'll be able to have a nice, smooth launch. Soldiers, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my content. You guys keep me going every single day. I'm glad we got those W's. I'm giving you a big salute from me to you. Good luck, and tonight, let's crush.